Hey folks, I'm Isaac Wood. I've been running a B2B lead generation agency over the last year. I've been in sales for the last 4 years, where I've booked meetings with key stakeholders at billion-dollar enterprises, high growth technology startups, agencies, and commercial and small businesses. This video is a breakdown of the exact step-by-step tactics I use to target ideal customers for both my clients and my own business. So in this video, I'm going to specifically talk about using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but some of these searches can also be used leveraging LinkedIn's free version as well. So never fear. So what are we going to cover today? First off, what is account-based prospecting and why does it matter? Next, we'll talk about what folks get wrong about prospecting. And then we're going to get into these step-by-step tactics to finding your ideal customers on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Specifically, we're going to do three things. First is we're going to learn how to take a list of email addresses, extract those URLs using a very simple Excel formula or a Google Sheets formula. Then we'll learn how to bulk upload that list of URLs to create a highly targeted account list in LinkedIn Sales Nav. And then we're actually going to walk through some of the key filters and how to use them. So LinkedIn prospecting, specifically account-based prospecting. What is it and why does it matter, right? So prospecting methods, specifically around account-based prospecting, are based on identifying, contacting, and engaging prospects at your best fit accounts. So this concept is based on highly targeted campaigns. So treating each account as a prospect of one. So the ultimate goal here is to create multiple touch points within an organization to create awareness and guide that prospect through your funnel to take action, like take a meeting. So you can kind of bifurcate it into enterprise and non-enterprise. If you're targeting enterprises, which are typically characterized by really complex organizational structures, this sort of strategy will help you build awareness across the organization, help you find your champion as your spearhead into the org to help start those conversations as you multi-thread and start chatting with numerous people, relevant contacts throughout the organization. If you're targeting smaller orgs, you're going to be reaching out to less people, but still want to target a few major stakeholders so you can maximize your reach within the organization. So what do people get wrong about prospecting? So sales is all about volume, first and foremost. It's an inherent volume-driven game. And so you can really think about your inputs and ultimately model your outputs. So in the case of lead generation business, this is going to be thinking about, emails sent equals conversations equals sales meetings booked, which turns into revenue generated. So in this process, many folks think, volume, just sending mass emails out to many, many people is going to be the best way. That's actually not really the accurate way to do it. So the targeting of your ideal prospects is the absolute most important part and the foundation to any good outreach campaign. You can have the best copy in the world, but if it's in the wrong person's inbox or the wrong person is receiving it, then you're going to be out of luck and you're not going to be getting any sort of feedback except for spam complaints. And that's no good. So thinking about spray and pray, right? So prospects are totally inundated with messaging, sales pitches, messages from recruiters, advertisements, billboards, ads on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything at this point. You get the picture, right? So this really truly reaffirms the need for very, very specific targeting. So for example, right, like a prospect could be getting 10 inbound sales messages every week, even every day if possible. And so because of this, you really need to stick out. And so to actually stick out, you need a very specific reason and purpose for your reaching out. So gone are the days of spray and pray, spamming thousands of prospects. It not only damages your domain, but it also wastes your team resources. And so the thing that I really like to focus on is really knowing why them, why now. And so incorporating this trigger as far as what is the reason and purpose of you reaching out? Why are they relevant? Why are you reaching out to them to solve a specific problem that you know that they have? These are the things that are very important to come across in your messaging. And this ultimately starts with targeting the right people. So that being said, let's actually dive into some of the tactics. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to actually take a list of email addresses to create an account search. So let's see. All right, so have a very simple little example spreadsheet here. And we have 10 or 9 different mock email addresses. And so what we want to do here is actually create a Excel formula to extract the email addresses in mass. So if you have a huge list of email addresses but don't have a way to get their URL, this is how you do it. Basically, it's called a regex replace formula. And so here's the syntax. You want to be targeting the text is this cell, and then this is the rest of the expression. So you have the first expression, and then you're replacing it with this. So basically what it's saying is taking everything up to the @ sign, and then replacing it with nothing. So if you do that, there you go. You got yourself a company URL. And to check it, you can scroll over it. Okay, look. All right, cool. So looks like it worked. This is all well and good, right? So now that you have a list of target companies, you can actually take this list and bulk import them into LinkedIn Sales Nav. So you can start creating a targeted lead list across a number of different companies, but relevant titles and similar criteria. So what you would do then is basically just download this as a CSV. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it now, but basically take the CSV, move into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is right here. And what you want to do next is click on accounts, and then you want to upload a list. So by uploading a list, just keep in mind here that the max is 1,000 light items, and it's a pretty small file. It's 20 megabytes. So you want to have a minimal amount of data. I typically will keep it to 2 columns, maybe 3. So in this case, you absolutely need the account name. You absolutely need the website URL, but sometimes it's good to also have the LinkedIn company URL if you can find it, or if your data enrichment service is giving it to you. But anyway, so click continue, find your CSV. This is the document, hit open. And now you want to map your fields. So again, the key here is account name and website URL. So just pop these 2 in here, you hit continue, and then finish. I've already done this again, so this is going to take just a couple minutes. All right, so now that you have your CSV file uploaded as an account list, now you can go to leads. And so click the lead plus. You can see here you got lead and you have accounts. You want to be in leads. So you scroll down to workflow and you click account lists. So in this case, we're going to just put in our YT tutorial. And this is a bigger list of around 999 actual domains. And so you're seeing 11 million results. This basically means that any of those companies, this is pulling every single individual who works at all of those 999 companies. So you can see how this is really powerful to have this bulk list. So obviously that's a lot of people. We're not going to be able to reach out to them. So what do we do next? We want to start filtering based on some criteria. A couple of the things that I really like to use are company headcount. So thinking about company headcount, right? Like you're going to be reaching out to a different individual at a company that has a headcount of 100 or less versus the company that's 1,000 people to 2,000 people versus the company that's 10,000 and plus. So just understanding the size of the company is going to impact the ultimate target and the ultimate level of person that you're going to be wanting to reach out to. So for this example, we're going to just do we're going to just be targeting companies that are around 500 to 1,000 people. So like a mid-range, medium-sized business. And next, we want to target company headquarters. So this is a really useful filter because it allows you to actually find the company's headquarters and where they're based. And you can filter this from as big as North America to United States or any other country. And then you can even break it down into specific states, specific cities, etc. This is important because if your company services a specific geography, this will allow you to avoid anybody outside of that. And so that's really important. So let's just look at all the people in the United States. So the next thing here is we want to start looking for a specific job title. Now, this is a really useful one because it's pulling directly from the individual's profile. So, since we're going after 500 to 1,000, that's going to probably be, a relatively larger organization, but not huge. So I think if we're looking for like marketing directors, marketing folks and selling into marketing, then we're probably going to be looking for like a marketing director or a VP of marketing. So including both of these, as you can see, we're now down to like 676 results. So we're getting very specific very quickly. So the last one that I think is really, really useful amongst all of these, which have varying degrees of usability, is you click into the spotlights and you actually do one of the these various options. So somebody who changed a job in the last 90 days, that's really useful because that typically means if they're at a new organization, there's going to be some change. They've been brought on for a specific reason that indicates that they could be investing in a new service or product, what have you. This one here, posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days, that's a really important one, especially if you're going to be doing some LinkedIn targeting. You're going to be reaching out specifically on LinkedIn, because if somebody's active on LinkedIn, they're going to be a regular user, they're much more likely to engage on the platform. So those are a couple very, very important criteria that you can use to choose from. So I'm going to just talk through a couple other useful filters. All of these can be used in some way, shape, or form. Some I would recommend not using, but some of the other ones that are very useful are current company. This is going to be useful, but sometimes it's not totally accurate because individuals will oftentimes forget to update their previous experience when they start a new one. So it'll show two roles that are currently present, and that can sometimes have an impact on the data cleanliness. So similar with past company, they both kind of have the same issues, but that's just some thoughts there. Company type, this one is just talking about like public, private, self-employed, what have you. Not super, super relevant. I mean, you can use this, but I don't leverage it all that often. If you're thinking about job titles, thinking about the past job title, that one, it's again, not going to be the most accurate, but you can use it. Connections of, this is another one that can be useful. If you're looking for somebody who's a connection of another person, this is very specific. I don't leverage this one too often, but this one can be used. Another solid one that you might want to use is general geography. So this is going to be where they're saying that they're located. Like this guy is saying he's based in London. In this case, I would say it's not abundantly clear if he's actually going to be located there at all times. People are remote, people go into the office, people are traveling, who really knows? So that one is good to generally understand, but not always so focused. Years of experience, this is another one. can be useful. And then, thinking about things like team link connections of these are people on your team that you can also connect with. Your school, that's going to be people who, you want to reach out to, fellow alumni. And you can save other people down in a lead list. If you have them in one lead list, you can save them in another. That's one to use as well. So some of these filters I don't like. These are ones like I definitely don't like to use. So seniority level is one, years in company is one, years in current position is one, and then like keywords and articles. These are definitely not the best. So also, I don't really know why you would search around names. So those are kind of funny. But anyway, that is a quick and dirty update on how to ultimately filter leads in a account list in LinkedIn Sales Nav. So what I'm going to do now. So really just a couple things to keep in mind here. It's like, this is an omni-channel approach. So the first step to any outreach campaign is targeting. This is the foundation. This is the fundamentals. You need to really understand who it is that you're speaking to in order to craft copy that resonates and convert on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So building that list and validating that list, that's really the foundation to any effective outreach campaign. And so that's really it for the video. If you're a B2B service business and you want 5 to 10 more meetings each month with your ideal client, go to www.levergrowth.io. It's going to be this link right here. I'm also going to put it in the comments or the information below. Take a look, book a meeting. We can have a chat, and I think see if it makes sense for us to work together. Otherwise, if you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. Also, going to be included in the description below. But anyway, if you found value from this video, give me a comment. Tell me what you liked, what you want to see more of, what you didn't like. Throw me a subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video. But anyway, thanks for the time, and have a solid rest of your day. Thanks.